This conference will now be recorded.
Like Sripada, you can just try to introduce yourself so that we'll get to know your expectations and your long-term plan with respect to this subject and course. As the floor is open for everyone to talk, you can. Guys, are you there?
Hello, hi, you there?
Yeah. So, Ajay, you can just try to introduce yourself.
Yeah, sure.
Mm.
Hi everyone, myself Ajay. I'm working as a performance test engineer and
Mm-hmm.
looking for automation experience with Selenium and Java. So
Mm-hmm.
that's the reason I joined this course.
Nice, nice.
Thank you.
So, your performance, which tool you're using, brother? Jmeter or LoadRunner?
Yeah, I have both experience. Currently using Jmeter.
Okay, okay. Sound like a veteran in performance testing.
Yeah.
Nice, nice, nice. Thanks. So, Sripada, Kinjal, Shelly. Yeah, Sripada, go ahead. Hello. Yeah, Kinjal, go ahead. You can talk. Okay. Okay, fine, Sripada. You can ping me in the chat box or I'll see. So, Kinjal, Shelly, you can talk. You can just try to introduce yourself so that everyone knows from where you are and what is the expectations of the course.
Hi, I'm Shally, and I'm
Mm-hmm.
from USA, and I have a experience in manual testing. And
Mm-hmm.
I know Java already, Java, Selenium, and Cucumber framework, API, mobile testing. So I joined just for brush up this
Okay.
course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
this is not a crash course, as you know. We are going everything from the scratch again. If you know.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I think we have a demo class, right? 5 demo class. So I
Yeah.
thought, okay, I'll
Yes.
join because I just learned performance testing with Isha only.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay. You learned prior automation testing.
Yeah, I'm very much good in all like Java and Cucumber
Mm.
framework, SNG, hybrid framework,
Mm.
and mobile testing, API testing.
Mm.
But I did hands-on practice, but theoretical way interview purpose I did not prepare. I have to. So currently
Okay.
I'm looking job also. Let's see.
Mm-hmm. Okay. That's nice. Anyways, if you know everything, this will be like a very great revision for you. And definitely, when we go for some Java 8 or Java 17 concepts, you'll feel some new Lambda expressions or stuff. You can actually witness it. We
Okay.
are not
Yeah. So I
sticking in
want to know. Yeah.
1.8.
Yeah. So I
Yeah,
want to know you
we
will cover API testing also in this
yeah
course.
yeah will be covering REST API testing because SOAP is somewhat a paid one, which I'm not taking it up. We will be covering REST only.
So with Cucumber framework or any tool like Postman
So
or
we
Slack.
teach first TestNG followed by Cucumber
Mm-hmm.
and stuff. First I have to teach TestNG, the concepts of Java, the basis of Selenium, followed by Cucumber. If you do not teach any of this thing, then it will be a confusing thing.
Okay. Yeah.
Yeah,
Sure. Thank
sounds
you.
great. Yeah. So 1 minute. Is my screen visible? Is my screen visible?
Yes.
Yes.
Nice.
Yes.
Yeah. Can any of other two, three people can introduce themselves so that we can directly jump into the next point? Kanan. Okay, that's nice, Kanan. That's good to hear. We welcome you. We welcome such people also. So, who is next? Kanan is then Sripada and Shaili. That's a very good intro. And Ajay, I would love to yeah. So Ajay, I would love to get connected and down the line to have a good understanding of performance and how do we integrate performance and Selenium down the line.
Sure, sure.
Yeah,
By the way,
nice.
your good name?
But my name is Rahul. I have overall
Okay,
8+ years of experience in this complete automation only.
okay, okay, Rahul. Nice to
Yeah,
hear.
yeah, nice. So, how about others like Kanti, Deepthi,
Yeah, Rahul,
Megha?
myself is
Sorry?
Kanti. Myself is Kanti,
Mm,
but I don't have experience in IT. I have experience in non-IT.
okay,
So actually I'm fresher. If considered as IT experience, yes, I'm like fresher into the IT.
okay, that's nice. So, last one, Deepthi, Sumati, Gayatri, Ranga, or Lavanya, or Sai Kiran. Can anyone talk for one final time before we jump into the topic?
Myself Saikiran. I'm from Hyderabad. So basically, I'm having good experience in performance testing using LoadRunner
Okay,
and Jmeter.
okay,
And I'm looking to like get more understanding about the Selenium Java. So basically, I have good
okay.
knowledge in Selenium also, and I know some frameworks also like Cucumber and another framework. So I do not have
Mm-hmm.
experience on hands-on like live project.
Yeah, if you want to do a hands-on, we need to be very fundamentally strong in the projects and each and every point if you want to really attempt a project. Because for that you need to build the scenarios by yourself. You need to have that ability to build the scenarios by yourself for any kind of a real-time project. So as you know, we don't jump into real-time directly. We have a process to teach the basics of Java followed by stuff, which I'll be showing the syllabus. Okay.
Sure, definitely. Yeah. Can
Yes. Yeah.
Hi Rahul,
So
this is
sorry. Go ahead.
yeah. So Rahul, I want to check. Like I'm from performance testing background, and I want to check. Do we have any prerequisites before we jump into Selenium training?
See, you already have a very great testing sense because when you are as a performance tester, you must really have a great sense of the application and great sense of how you can really test it. So that's a very one good prerequisite you already have. Second thing is that
Okay.
you need to have a programming knowledge a bit more than the performance testing because in performance testing, especially when you use Jmeter, you need to be very good with Groovy scripting. So here we need to be really good with Java, Deepti.
Okay. So you will cover Java from basics to advanced, is it?
Yeah,
Whatever is
yeah.
needed
We
for
cover,
Selenium.
yeah, whatever is needed for automation, we cover those Java concepts because Java is a very big ocean and covering each and every Java concept will take like years and years.
Okay, so whatever is required for maybe start a project or to work on,
Yeah,
already existing project,
yes.
you will teach us, correct?
Yes. And
Oh,
I totally
okay.
understand a lot of performance people are shifting to automation. The reason is performance testing happens right before the prod release or when the project is heading go live. That is where the hate is on a lot on the performance testers. Correct me if I'm wrong, Deepthi, Ajay.
Actually, why most performance testers are also looking for Selenium is like, now testing, they want a complete bundle. They
Full
want
stack
automation,
tester.
they want now, yeah, full stack tester, seeded kind of. And now we're
Yeah.
going into agile model, shift left models, right? So
Yes,
I'm a
yes.
performance test lead, so we should be a package. So we should do automation as well as non-functional. So we should be ready for
Yeah.
everything. Just keep upscaling yourself.
So that is the new era for the people who are into testing. Prior into IT industry, this is the new era of the coin. The word word that you can say it's a full stack tester. Down the line of 5 years, you will see opening like we want to have a full stack tester. Correct me if I'm wrong. In the next 5 years, you'll be seeing a job opening like we need a full stack tester.
Yes, Rahul.
Around 5 years is too long. It has already started.
It's
No,
already
and so
started.
see, in order to be notified to the common crowd, it will take some time. In order to be notified to the common crowd, it will take some time. Ajay and Dikti.
And it will
Since we
take
are
1 year
so deep
at
into the
least.
industry, we can understand stuff. Okay, that's a very good interaction with you, Deepthi and Ajay. I'd love to get connected more on the performance ideas and how we can integrate with Selenium, as I told you. So before we get started, just tell me the answer for this question. Why automation testing is so important? Like most of the people will say from a career perspective, but not from a career perspective. Why automation testing is become so important or so prevalent in the current industry? Anyone can talk. Anyone can talk. Anyone can share their views of why automation testing has become so important.
instead of reducing manual intervention.
Ranga, could you repeat your point again?
Reducing manual intervention. Suppose if automation testing is not there, na, so manually needs to be tested, tested the application each and every point of view. In order to avoid that, we can go with the automation testing. In that, we can design test cases. If the test case will be run, our esteemed output should become.
Okay, that's great. That's great. And Shaili, how about you?
Yeah, so automation testing is important for time saving, especially for
Mm-hmm.
regression testing time. So when we
Mm-hmm.
have to like regression testing, whenever it's like any build, change, modify. So already exist a test case we can make convert in a script and then we can run. We don't need to check or spend time in manually.
Mm-hmm. Okay, that's a great answer. And how about others? Could anyone like to drop their views in the chat box, or can you unmute yourself and talk? I would like to take one more answer before I jump into the next point. You can drop your answers in the chat box as well as you can unmute and talk. How Deepthi, can you talk about this point, or Gayatri, Rajvardhan? Yeah, times and resource saving. Yeah. So everyone is more focused on time and resource saving, and that is a very good point I could say in the given crunch timelines for the testing department. So what does this image represent as a manual versus automated tester? But before I start discussing this point, I'm not here discriminating anyone's role or anything else. It is just a public perception of manual versus automation. How is this? So every tester has a key role in their in the shaping of the product. So please comment your views on this image, like how the life of a manual tester versus the life of an automation tester when it is really when we are really delivering the product to the customer. So you can talk. Anyone can talk. Saikiran, Deepthi, Amrita, Shelly, Sripada.
Is your question? Please, can
Yeah,
you
this
repeat?
yeah, this is a what can you interpret from this kind of image? If there's an image given to you, suppose in an interview, what can you really try to interpret about the roles of a manual tester versus automation tester? This can be one of your interview questions when you're really attempting a very big company which is really invested in automation.
Yeah, my
Manual.
point of view.
Yeah, Ranga,
Yeah,
go ahead.
can I my point of view, in case of manual testing, there must be a person present in front of system to check each and every module and each and every functionality. Whereas in case of automated testing, we can write the test cases and we can get those test cases by scheduling the time zone also. Suppose if I want to run the test after 3 hours, I can schedule the test at the 3 hours without any manual intervention. It should be run
Mm.
the test case will be give the results.
Mm-hmm.
And no need of more number of people required for automation testing. Only few people will be required than compared to manual testing.
Mm-hmm.
So,
That's my
Yeah, Shelly, go ahead.
so manual testing and automated testing both is important because first we have to check manually, then we have to convert test case in automate.
Mm.
So it's both is
Okay.
important, manually and automation.
Mm. Nice, 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 nice. So I would like to drop my views on this manual versus automation testing. And sure, there's a more time and more effort. Actually, if you say when a manual tester really works on it, he has a more documentation work to be submitted. He has to submit the clear document stating whether it's pass or fail, or he has to certify. There are a lot of works. If you really automate the complete process, what happens? The required reports or required stuff, the intelligence that we put in our scripts really helps us in saving a lot of time, a lot of efforts, and you can play around, you can juggle around. The real intelligence lies in how do you build a framework, how do you build a structured script, how do you build an efficient script. That is what is the key to saving your time, saving your energy, saving your memory. Clear? How many of you would agree to this point? The real deal is in preparing a excellent script, a robust script, which can withstand any kind of issues. How many of you are agreeing with me on this point? Or if you are disagreeing, let me know why are you disagreeing also, so that I'll be happy to listen to that also. Thank you. So, as our friends, lovely friend said, what are the advantages of automation? The first word we always say is reliability, because the test perform precisely the same operations each time they run, thereby eliminating human errors. Okay. So the tests perform precisely the same operations each time they are run, thereby eliminating human errors. Okay. Repeatability. We are enabling the capability to test how the software reacts under repeated execution of the same operations. How our software reacts, how our software works under continuous executions and stuff. Comprehensiveness means we provide the ability to build a suite of tests that covers each and every feature of your application. Okay. Better quality software. We can run more test cases in less amount of time with reduced team size. Remember the word reduced team size. This is a very catchy word and attractive word for most of the service delivery managers and service delivery managers and product owners. The word reduced team size. Then we talk about reusability. We can run the same test cases on different environments, different versions or different releases or different environments. Even the UI of the application changes. User interface stands for the look and feel of the application. Programmability means provides the ability to program sophisticated tests that bring out hidden information from the application. That means what? We can program our test case in such a way that we can really bring out some hidden facts that is really hampering the performance of your application, or that is really creating a problem in your application and stuff, which sometimes manual testers also may find it difficult to find. And sometimes performance team, like we have some sort of performance testers, some people also find it a bit difficult to find it also. Fast. Automated tools runs faster, significantly faster than the manual process. That means what? The speed of the execution is such a way that it'll be executed in a flash. Like how Usain Bolt finishes his 100 meters in a couple of seconds. It's just like it finishes the script's execution in a flash. By the time you make a look around the room, it finishes this executions. Cost reduction. Remember this word. Two words. Reduce team size and cost reduction. Result of reduced team size realized by productivity gains. These are the two words that always the service delivery people are always interested to have in the project. If I can build a product, if I can run a show with better reduced team size and a better cost reduction, then I'm gonna definitely want this feature. I definitely want this kind of candidates in my team. Am I correct or not? Most of the service delivery managers or the product owners or the management looks for this kind of architecture, right? Better cost reduction with a reduced team size. Yes or no?
That's correct.
So remember these 2 points. This is the main reason why automation has started. This is the main stepping stone of why automation has been inculcated in most of the organizations. Reduce team size and cost reduction. These are the two keywords that really disturb the minds of the not disturb, it's just like really initiated the thought in most of the higher management or the product owners or the product managers to implement automation into their companies. So what are the other things? Effective test management enables the test cases to be traced, updated, and reused in the future to cover and execute when there are similar requirements and functionalities. Okay, will enable the test to be traced, updated. That means what we can, for the same test case that we are writing, we can update it, reuse it in the future to cover and execute when there are similar requirements or functionalities. Okay. Wider test coverage means scope to create a large number of complex automated tests along with their execution repeatedly over a period of time. So, what is our main agenda? If the test cases that are certified, if the test cases that are covered by the automation scripts, then it increases the scope for the manual testing team to cover the remaining areas which are not covered by the automation team. That way, we can create a large number of complex scenarios which we can give it to the automation team to get it automated. Because if the once the test cases are automated, what will happen? The manual team or someone should not involve in that because the case is already automated. So once the case is already automated, you need not worry about it. The manual testing job is always over with respect to the particular test case, and he or she can take care of the other areas of application where automation team is not covering. Because I'll tell you in the future slides why. So automation scripts executes with a greater precision and lower errors than manual testing. So, with the advantage of automation, what we are doing, we are freeing the resources from the test execution of software builds that are frequently given by the development team. So, what do you mean by this? And one thing for all the people who are coming from non-IT background, if you have any doubts or if you are feeling any terminology is something new for you, please stop me in the middle. I'll be more than happy to explain you the terminology. This is especially for the people who are coming from non-IT background only. Non-IT background as well as from the IT background. If you have any doubt somewhere, you can always stop me in the middle. Clear?
Yeah, sure.
So freeze the testing resources means what? There are some situations where you'll be giving a daily release to the product. That means every day you get a new software deploy, and every day you get a new product, every day you get a new software. Okay, got it? So it's very difficult for humans to sit in front of the system and complete the whole activity of testing. Clear? Clear, everyone?
Clear.
Yes, yes.
So if you see the efforts, I mean these numbers are prone to change, but I have given these numbers on the basis of a rough sample of test cases that we have already seen over a due course of time. So this is a graph. What this graph states, if you have a smoke suit of around 15 test cases, then it takes 2 hours for the manual testing to do, and 20, I mean, zero point 0.2 is 2 by 10 into 6 is 12 minutes to finish the execution through automation. If you take a sanity suit of 50 cases, it will take 8 hours to finish for the manual team. An automation team takes 8 by 10, yeah, 48 minutes to finish the suit. For partial regression, What do you mean by partial regression? If it was if it was which is having 250 test cases, then it takes generally 40 hours for the manual team to finish it. 40 hours means 5 working days, because in a single day we only work for 8 hours. Whereas the automation script takes around 4 hours to finish the execution. When you come to full regression suite, that is having 1,000 plus test cases, we take around 160 human hours. That means 20 working days. Whereas automation script takes 16 hours. That means 2 working days. So hope you understood. This graph was very much self-sufficient to explain how it saves time and how it generates the result quickly for you in an efficient manner. Is it clear?
Yeah, it's good. So only thing is regarding time saving.
Yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
it's time
yeah,
saving.
it's time saving.
Any doubts so far, guys, before we proceed to further slides? Hmm? Any doubts?
Question.
Any doubts, guys?
No, for me,
Yeah, tell me. Tell me, Ajay. What's your doubt?
I don't have any doubts on this. No doubts for
Hmm.
me.
Hmm.
Yeah. Mm.
So, what are the top 5 lessons about test automation that you all need to know before you kickstart your course into this? First thing is never ever automate a mess. Second thing is avoid complex logic. Never ever automate a mess means do not automate or do not write a script without having proper functional knowledge about what you're trying to write for it. Second thing is avoid complex logic in your scripts. What do you mean by avoid complex logic in your scripts? Means whatever the logic you write, make sure it is approaching the requirement in the right manner. Don't make a hell out of the logic and write it. And third point is 100% automation is never ever possible. You can say proudly and firmly is that 100% automation is never ever possible. The max we could do was 85% out of great difficulty. So beware of automation testers who do not understand testing. So as an automation tester, you need to have basic idea and understanding of testing. What is what? So remember that test automation is a software development process. It is not a testing process. Like how developers spend their time to build the project. Similarly, we also build a script, and we also spend some time to work on it. Okay, clear? Is this clear? Is this clear, everyone? What are the 5?
Yes.
Yes.
Sorry. So if you can see this graph, can anyone explain me what is this graph about? Can anyone try to decipher what you are trying to do in this graph?
It shows the cost difference between both the types of testings.
Yes. Yeah, that's nice. How about others?
In every build, the cost is getting increased because of the manual resources.
Hmm. Anyone else would like to say about this graph? You can ping it in the chat box or you can talk.
It also shows that if the builds are less than 6, then cost saving is manual, but if it's more than 6, cost saving is an automation.
Hmm. That's nice. That's a very good observation, Tasnim. How about others? How about others? Okay. Okay. Nice. Nice, Kanan. That was a good observation. How about others? Gayatri, Amrita, Lavanya. I want you guys to talk.
So I think starting few builds, manual testing cost is um, less and automation testing higher, and after some builds, then automation testing cost is less and manual testing higher.
Hmm. Okay, that was nice. That was nice. So, what could be the reason for increased cost of manual testing down the line? What will happen down the line? They'll be adding more senior resources so that the go live goes smoothly and stuff. Down the line, they add a lot of resources to ensure that go live is working properly or not. That is the main reason the cost will increase. Second thing is, once the project is heading towards a deadline, then they increase the number of hours that they spend on the project. The more number of hours you spend, the more the billing will be incurred to the company. Yes or no? Yes or no, everyone? How many of you will agree to this point? The main reasons for increase in cost of manual testing.
Yes.
Is this point? Yeah. Is this point clear for everyone? Okay. With this, with this we are done with the basic introduction of. Yeah. With this we are done with the basic introduction of automation testing and what is what about. Let me go through the syllabus once, please. Just give me a minute. Okay. Okay, Amrita. You're able to see my screen, right? Hmm?
Yes,
You're able to see the screen, right?
yes, yes,
So first we
So
have discussed about
first we
what
have
is
discussed about
testing.
what is testing.
So we have discussed about what is testing and what is test automation as part of the first topic that we have discussed today. Then we'll be discussing about SDLC lifecycle with respect to test automation and what is the importance of test automation. We have discussed this point. What is the importance of test automation along with different facets of testing, case studies and facts. And in the tomorrow's class, we'll be discussing about the SDLC lifecycle with respect to automation and why Selenium is being used among all the tools. Because these are the common interview questions that you really face in the market. We all know Selenium is being the boss, but we also want to know from you why it is the boss, why it is the best in the market, and why it is being used in the market. Before you kickstart your career, you need to know what is the best and what is the worst. You need to know the pros and cons of everything that you're working into it. Then only you can jump into the tool. Then only you can enjoy the tool a lot. Then we go through the installation of tools like JDK setup, installation of Eclipse and IntelliJ tools, Git Bash installation. For someone who are new to the terminology, it's okay. You can please wait for a while till we come to this topic and discuss so that you'll understand what is what. Then we go through the Git concepts. How do we sign up for a GitHub account, creating an empty repository, creating a branches in the Git, cloning the code from the Git, committing the code from Git, pushing the code, check out the code. All these words might sound new for everyone, but it's okay, totally fine. Take some time to get the hang of it. If you are still, in this 4 months, if you have any doubt, you can ask me. I'll try to answer in a very simplest manner that I can. Till get commands using IntelliJ. Any doubts so far for the first 4 points that we have discussed? Then we'll be dealing with the basics of Java, that is introduction to Java, how do we create a new class, and basic syntax, what are the different data types and wrapper classes, what are the different conditional looping statements, static versus non-static methods, constructors basics and its purpose, and the introduction to strings and exceptions, arrays, and whatever the Java basics that we have learned, how do we prepare with the Selenium concepts, how do we integrate them at a later point of time. So is this clear? Right, we are going from the basics and the start and the scratch. Clear? Is this point clear, everyone?
Yes.
If you
Yes, clear.
then we'll deal with the topic called then we deal with the topic of strings and collections, which is one of the most important concepts with respect to automation. So, what is the importance of string? What is the importance of collections from automation perspective? What are the different types of string functions? What are the different string utils concept that we can use for Apache Maven? What is the what is the collections concept? How we can use different collections, and what are the different types of collections and their usage? Clear?
Yes.
Clear. And exception handling. What is exception handling? And what is the purpose from automation perspective? What is the syntax of exception handling using try-catch block? So exception handling is also one of the key things with respect to any programming language, and you all need to know how do you handle the exceptions and how do you its purpose from automation perspective. Syntax of exception handling using the try-catch block and purpose of finally block. How do you handle multiple catch blocks with one try block? And what is the difference between throws and throw method? So what are the different ways of writing the data to the file? What are the different ways of reading the data from writing the data to the file, reading the data from the file? How do we collect all the lines of file in one go? How do we copy the file from one location to another location? How do we, what are the different concepts of file functions apart from this? And we come to inheritance. What is the extension implements keyword? What is the superclass and subclass? What is the this keyword and super keyword? And the different hook concepts like polymorphism, encapsulation, and interfaces. Then we go for a setup of a basic Selenium project, like how do we set up a Maven project and how do we add the dependencies. Setup of WebDriver and launching the application. What are the introduction to web tables and how do we handle dynamic rows and columns. How do we handle the web tables? Like web table stands for the grids and stuff. What are the different concepts of wait times? And what are the different attributes with respect to web elements? Basically, Selenium is something like instead of you sitting in front of the system and doing the work, Selenium like a tool is helping you to do the testing on behalf of you. like a bot. For that, what are the different functions that we use to find the elements? How do you apply different weights? Like how do we wait for a particular button or particular page to be loaded? How do you handle the browser pop-ups? How do you handle multiple windows and tabs? How do you take the screenshots? How do we upload and download the files? What are the different Chrome options and desired capabilities that you would like to take care of it to enhance the browser capabilities and browser understanding, improve the automated browser capabilities and give more power to the browser. Is this clear, this guy's points, guys, so far?
Yes.
Uh, yeah. Sumati, yeah. Gayatri, go ahead.
Yes. No, it's clear till now. I have some questions, but I'll wait till the end.
Yeah, you can ask in the middle because if you go in the last, you might get lost also. So you can ask me right
All
away.
right. Okay, sure. So my first question is, you said that we will talk about the IntelliJ tool that can be used for Selenium, right? So in some of my
Yes.
projects, instead Eclipse Oxygen is used, the Oxygen version. So just wanted to know,
Yeah.
like,
Actually, you
will you be
need to
able
come
to?
out of Oxygen and you have to go to the latest version of Eclipse that we'll be discussing in the class. Actually, Eclipse Oxygen is one of the outdated versions. You have to really change your Eclipse
Yeah, I
versions.
agree that, but it's a my organization mandate, so I cannot escape it. So at client side, we use IntelliJ, but at my organization, we use Eclipse. So I'm finding it difficult to incorporate like between both. So will you be able to help there, like just at least the
Yeah,
basic
definitely.
steps, how do you import
Yeah, yeah,
projects in Oxygen and stuff? Okay,
definitely. I mean, we don't
got it.
use Oxygen here. We are using a latest version of Eclipse, but the commands remain the same for any Eclipse.
Okay. It might be some options inbuilt in the tool might be different. Like how to import everything
That
will be the
time,
same as what you're
yeah,
telling.
but yeah, if you have some issues, you just ping me on my personal window. I'll just help you out and rectify it. Okay. With
All
respect
right,
to
sure.
Oxygen and the latest version of Eclipse that we use. Okay.
Sure. And one more question, will you be covering anything related to GitHub repository, like how to
That
put your
is
code in
what
that and maintain?
we have discussed in the initial points, right?
Initial, right? Okay, just a confirmation I need. And the other thing is, will you be talking anything on the CI/CD pipelines, like what is that
If
concept? How
time
do we
I
really?
mean, yeah, we'll be explaining the concept, but the only thing is, like, even I'm planning to start working on my Jenkins. The thing is that it works good for my office one, but how do I put it in my local system is the only question I have, Gayatri. But definitely, I'll make a good effort to try explain about the Jenkins or CI/CD model in my personal laptop so that it'll be the same as how you deal with the real time.
Sure, because that is being covered in majority of the interviews. So we are like independent testing that we are doing, but when it comes to CI/CD, I have like no clue because in my team I don't have a
Yeah,
requirement for it. But I think
the thing
I
is
would love
that
to,
the thing is that if you are working only Jenkins only, they're asking questions. But if you're working with Azure, no one is asking questions. If you're working with Azure
Okay.
or if you're working with AWS, they're not asking questions because then it's a paid one, and it's very difficult for you to demonstrate. Like
Okay.
my company uses Azure as the DevOps tool. We don't use Jenkins, to be honest. So
Okay.
we all sit with the
Mm-hmm.
DevOps team and we set up the agents and we do it. So if I practically want to show that Azure thing, it's a bit difficult because Microsoft is always a paid version, right?
Mm-hmm. Okay. Okay,
So
makes
we'll put
sense.
our best. Yeah, in the next upcoming sessions at the last, we'll try to put the Jenkins thing and we'll be explaining you. Okay.
All right, sure. One last thing, sorry, I'm not sure if I'm asking too much. So I came to know about this something called Selenium Sauce Labs where you can do like parallel executions and stuff.
There's
I don't have it in my
yeah.
team, but I've seen like in
So
my organization some of the other teams are using it.
there's
So
a difference between parallel execution and distributed execution. Get the wording right.
hmm
There's
so
a
they
there's a
said it's
difference
a
between yeah.
yeah.
Get
So
that
they
wording
said
right.
something called. uh
There's a
Yeah,
something
go ahead,
called as
please.
go ahead.
No, go ahead, please.
No, Selenium Source Labs, as far as I know, they are using it for distributed execution instead of a parallel execution. Get that fact right from your team.
Okay. No, but they told me they're using it for parallel execution only. Like I'm not much into aware of what is what, so I wanted to know
Yeah,
like whether it can be discussed here.
Selenium Source Labs is basically Selenium on Source Labs is just run to all possible. It runs to all different types of browsers, like all possible actions.
Mm-hmm.
Basically, all possible actions. You need to integrate with the soft lab. It's just like you want to execute it simultaneously. It's a cross-browser testing, yeah. It's a
Oh,
simultaneously you
okay.
want to execute the code in different browsers like Chrome, Firefox, Safari, and stuff.
Okay.
I can't guarantee on
But
the
it is
soft
a
labs. Ideally,
okay.
it's not a
Okay.
common thing everywhere. Trust me,
Okay.
it's not a
Okay.
common
All
thing.
right.
It's varies from company to company.
Okay. And it's a paid thing, right? If I'm not wrong.
Yes, yes. It's a
Okay.
paid thing. That is why we are not discussing. We only focus on the freeware tools
Mm-hmm.
so that our
Okay. All
class
right.
can handle. Yeah.
Okay. All right. Fine. Yeah. If I can at least get that CI/CD thing, at least to some extent, I would really appreciate that.
Okay. Fine. I would love to.
Thank you.
So, yeah. Thanks, Gayatri, for the questions. It was very informative for everyone. So, coming to Sumati, if you have no idea about manual testing, that's totally fine. But if you are stuck at some testing terminology, you have to stop me and ask. Okay. That's the best help I can give it to you. So coming to the resuming our discussion, we'll be discussing about TestNG. What is the TestNG? How do we install TestNG from the marketplace? What are the different annotations of TestNG? What is sample test case scripting via TestNG? How do we execute different test cases? Execution of test cases, parameterization of values. How do we group the test cases? How do we create a dependency between the test cases? WebDriver event listener, iTest listener, and its usage, and how do we use listeners as part of the scripting? And how do we use a Cucumber framework? How do we install Cucumber plugin from Marketplace? Creating a new feature file and syntax, runner file and creating step definitions. Combining TestNG with Cucumber. How do we execute test cases using runner file? How do we prepare a scenario name based on the tags? Pickle the test step concept and scenario outlines. How do we handle Excel files? How do we handle the properties files? How do we generate reports? Because report generation is one of the key things when you're working as a tester, because the report will state whether the test case is working properly or not and stuff. So how do you do REST API testing? How do you perform different REST operations? How do you handle the data in the JSON? So with all the concepts, we'll be building a framework using all the Excel knowledge and extent reports knowledge, and how do we work on IntelliJ tool and stuff. And if time permits, I will be going on parallel execution of test cases, JUnit testing, Karate framework, Allude reports, and in short, I would like to add a point called as Jenkins, which will be really useful for cracking down your interviews. Yeah, we have this course details in our website. You can go through it and you can always come back for any doubts or queries and clarification. Is that okay? Is that okay, everyone?
Yes,
So
that should be
API
fine.
testing will be learned with framework, Cucumber framework.
Yeah, basically, see, there are two ways of API testing you're looking into it. One is a codeless API testing, one is code with code API testing. The Karate framework is the codeless API testing that it's in the
Yeah,
market. So
yeah,
obviously
yeah,
any API testing you do can be done with TestNG and with Cucumber, both ways.
yeah.
Got it?
So we will learn Dockers or any Selenium grade for parallel
No,
execution. No?
I don't have the infrastructure as of now to build a Selenium grid because I need to have a host, I need to have a hub. As of now, I don't have, but down the line, or if possible during this course, I'll be creating my own hub and a distributed mechanism, because Selenium grid one of the least used things, because the thing is that you need to not in the for training it will look good, but the companies, when they use Selenium Grid, they need to whitelist a lot of URLs, which is very difficult for them when you're working in a restricted client environment for Selenium Grid. That is one thing. And since Gayatri has requested for Jenkins, we'll try to cover Jenkins, because every DevOps tool has its own pros and cons. There are too many DevOps tools in the market. Like as far as I know, there are 25 DevOps tools in the market, to be honest. So covering each of them will be a difficult proposition as of now. But I'll try to cover Jenkins. As of now. Okay.
So Jenkins, we have to learn like a small thing, right? Like we have to create job and we have to provide like form XML
Pipeline.
and we have to run.
Yes.
That's it, right?
It's
Like
as
some
simple as it.
configuration there.
Yeah, it's not as simple as you said, because there are a lot of configurations you need to do. You need to have the right JDK, you need to have the right Maven reporting tools, you need to have right Maven plugins and stuff. It's
Yeah,
not
yeah.
as easy as you said. The flow is right, but it's not as easy as you said.
So basically, we have to just configuration and we have to run our
Yeah,
script in Jenkins.
yeah, so,
Yeah,
if
yeah,
you have war file, if we go with that, it will be very less time consumed to install. But the problem is, when we integrate with the GitHub or something repository, it will take much time. So
yeah.
if
With
we
the
want to run local file, it will be very easy. We can, as per my knowledge.
okay, nice.
So how long it will go, this course?
Ideally 30 to 45 days, but all depends on how well you participate in the class, how well you practice, and how well you come up with the queries and stuff. That at the end of the day, how you really progress towards this course is what matters to me. Ideally, we say 30 to 45 days, but your practice, the more you ask doubts, the more queries we solve together as a team, will really determine how successful are you in your learning.
Yeah. So Monday to Friday, class.
Yeah, Monday to Friday, 9 to 10 p.m.
Oh, 9 to 10. Okay.
The like now we have joined for 9 p.m. to 10 p.m. right?
Yeah, yeah, because I have another class, performance testing with Isha only. So that's why it's 9, 10:30 we have.
Yeah,
Yeah. So I can take both. Yeah.
yeah, cool. So that's it, guys. Yeah,
I have one question.
yeah, go ahead.
So here it says you'll cover about JUnit testing, right? I'm just curious to know like what is Jmeter? Like, is it one and the same? And
It's
like,
like TestNG only, but some companies use JUnit because some people find it TestNG has more features to offer. Some people get confused by using TestNG, so they go for JUnit. It's just like another like TestNG only. JUnit has started from a developer standpoint of view, and they're trying to pull it into testing.
okay. So, but we will be using TestNG. But you said JUnit is also they're getting confused. But you're telling it is used only for unit testing. Is that what you're telling?
Yeah, yeah. It's majorly used for unit testing, but sometimes testers also use JUnit. So just I'm
Okay.
giving a brief walkthrough of what are the different features.
Okay. And what
If
about
time
JMeter
permits.
is okay, sure. And
JMeter
what
is a
about
performance
JMeter?
testing. JMeter is a
Okay, so that
performance
is
testing.
totally
This is
different.
automation testing. Two are different things.
Okay. Okay, makes sense.
Yeah.
Thanks.
Thanks. Kanan, the right question, but I'm not the right person to answer you. You have to talk to Kumar sir or the team who has approached to you. I hope I'm clear. Any questions, any queries to be resolved before we meet tomorrow? Yeah. Okay then, guys. We'll catch up tomorrow. Yeah.